Hey everybody, this is Scott from Lawrence Hypnotherapy, and welcome to my presentation called How to Get 50 Free Leads with One Post and 5 Micro Strategies. We're changing things up a bit because I've missed the classroom a bit, that I'm using my virtual reality helmet where this is my head, this is my hands, so that I can basically simulate kind of like moving around in a natural classroom environment, what I'm used to. Thanks for being here, because today, if you want to get more leads for your business, if you want to get people booking in for your hypnotherapy clinic, whether you do hypnotherapy, NLP, or yoga, or whatever it is that you do. Like if you're a master of psychology or somebody who helps people with like how-to information, you make transformations in people's lives. And people need your knowledge. This is a time in history where people need your leadership and people need your knowledge as much as possible. If you could just get the clients to come in. So whether it's like online you want them, whether it's kind of face-to-face, depending on what the laws, depending what's happening for you at the moment with our whole situation. This video, I want to help you to get the leads. I want to help you to bring people in, whether it's for addiction, anxiety, insomnia, whatever it is. Whether you've had trouble in the past with it, could be the technology, the messaging, Facebook not showing your leads to enough people. And in the last few years, I don't know if you've known my story about basically how I've done really well. I've basically, if you've heard the story of like when my wife had left, it was grief, it was hard. But in another way, business-wise, it became, in a way, the gift that kept on giving, because it not only it made me need to focus on something else, which was like business and leads, in order just to get my mind right, but it also kind of gave me stories that I could share with people, and then I started to attract people that had been through what I had been through. But there was a few other elements to it that seemed to really pay off. When I found kind of like this particular formula of how to speak to people online and how to make very short posts that kind of almost just look like this, and put that as a post on Facebook, my leads kind of blew up, and I started to get things like 50 free leads from a single post, and I'm sure you've seen them. On this page, if you scroll down, you'll see 77 examples, and just next to this video, you'll also see the ebook workbook that asks you the questions that helps you construct your own posts. And so in helping so many students in the last few years now, because like I've had a lot of time to get this right and to help other students to get this right, I've seen how sometimes people get these posts right and wrong, and I've seen where they go wrong and how I can help to fix it. A lot of it's to do with the paragraphing, and that's what this particular video is about. So thanks for watching. So let's get straight into it. So how to get 50 free leads with one post and 5 micro strategies. So to start with, we're going to talk about the posts. The second half of the video, we're going to be getting into then what to do after the posts. So let's start with the posts. So to begin with, this is the number one rule I want you to follow from now on. No matter what you're seeing on Facebook, no matter what you're seeing people do, stop posting unless you're solving a problem. Does that make sense? And does it make sense why you need to stop posting unless you are solving a problem? So if you've seen other people, I don't care what other people are doing, gratitude posts, happy Wednesday, kind of like, this happened to me, whatever it is, that if you're not solving a problem, don't post. So what is a problem? A problem is your client has on their to-do list, on their mind, your client has, I need to quit smoking, I need to lose weight. They have money, health, and relationships, and then there's subtopics from there. How would your client actually say their problem? What is it that they're actually saying? So one of the best ways to find out what problems are is talk to a client, or talk to another hypnotherapist who has clients, or interview someone who could be a potential client, or just do a poll on Facebook and just ask people, because you're doing hypnotherapy, but your job isn't really, people aren't attracted to you as a hypnotherapist. They're attracted to you as a problem solver because they have problems they want solved. They just want you to help them fix their problems. Even though they're doing the work themselves, or even though perhaps they do a lot of the work themselves, but you also do the hypnosis for them, they still want you to help them by teaching them how to solve a problem. And a problem is not, I need a hypnotherapist. A problem is not, I need a coach. A problem is not, I need someone who does NLP. A problem is, I'm fat, I'm lonely, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, I have anxiety, I don't know how to focus, I feel kind of like uncomfortable in my clothes, I find like every time I try to speak to someone of the same or opposite sex or whatever it is, that my throat closes up out of anxiety and lack of confidence. They're problems. So anytime you post, this is the kind of stuff you should be talking about. Not all of this kind of like, you're not committed, or that you could be saving, instead of spending money on alcohol, you can be spending money on hypnotherapists. Those posts aren't solving a problem. Those posts are pure ego, self-serving, and they are robbing you of clients. So our job and your job as someone who is promoting yourselves, like if you want to do lead magnets, your job is to be able to solve problems. To begin with, you've got to be able to identify, well, what are problems that people have? And this is what I can see that a lot of people are failing to do. They're not even kind of identifying the language of a problem that the other person on Facebook scrolling on their phone is actually going to have. Does that make sense? What are they going through? It's money, health, or relationships, and then it's a subtopic from there. So like, are they bedwetting? Are they nail biting? Are they finding that they can't, they're too stressed because in the house, let's say there's too many people, whatever it is, they're all kind of fighting each other and they need to just find a way to get their brain to stop being tempted by fights and to start sort of focusing on their stuff. Maybe they don't have enough clarity in their life. Maybe they feel kind of they're a loser. Maybe that's the language that they use. And so you've got to be aware of how people are speaking to themselves before you can help them. Before you can even give them a plan, before you can even give them a teachable framework, before you can even treat them, you must be aware of the language they're using to describe themselves and their own problems. So, rule 1, stop posting unless you're solving a problem. So here's 3 post examples. I'm going to zoom in for a second. If you can't see it at the moment, we're going to zoom in just a second. But let me show you 3 student post examples. So this is only from a little while ago. So here's the 3 posts. And what I want you to do is to tell me in the comments, or tell me kind of like however you're going to tell me, what do you notice as the difference between these posts and why did they get different amounts of leads? So lead magnet number 1, how to quit smoking without patches, gums, vaping, or even willpower. Type I'm in to join my new group with an all new training. 22 leads overnight. So would you like to get 22 leads overnight? So what I want you to do, feel free to copy this post, but if that's all you get out of that, that would be a shame, because you could get so much more out of this if you can follow me on this step as to why is this different from the next post that I'm going to show you. 0 leads overnight. Who is starting next week with a new health goal? If you want help to achieve it for free, say yes please below. So I'm going to go back to the other one. Can you see this gap here? So after this, how to quit smoking without patches, gums, vaping, or even willpower, then there's a gap. And then the first word here is the word type. Then in quotes, it says I'm in. So type I'm in. That's a verb, type. So a verb is a direct subconscious instruction. Type I'm in. Under it, 22 people typed I'm in. To join my new group with an all new training. So there's kind of like, we've identified a problem, smoking. And we've identified a very clear offer. Join my new group with an all new training. Assuming it's free, it says nothing about price. It also has some downsides that it's avoiding. So this follows a formula we call how to get good thing without bad thing. So how to quit smoking without patches, gums, vaping, or even willpower. So if you're not doing smoking, you're doing anxiety instead, how to treat anxiety without alcohol, carbs, or taking it out on others. So this is a very click and play formula. But now let's look at the other one. No gap in between. All caps. So the whole thing's yelling. See, like the thing is like that people sort of think that, like when you put like 500 exclamation marks, that people think that their post stands out, but it just looks desperate. The other thing is like when it's all caps, capital letters help you make individual letters stand out against the lowercase letters, but when they're all caps, nothing's standing out against anything. It's just ugly. It's just hard to read. So this, who is starting, so to begin with, this is all wrong. Who is starting next week with a new health goal? Who? I don't know. Is it Matt? Is it Pete? Is it Susan? Is it Fred? Is it Betty? It's a bad question to ask on Facebook, because it's not a question that you actually want to ask. And then no gap. And then if you want help, well, what if I don't? I could just stop reading. Does that make sense? So if you want help to achieve it, whatever it is, well, I've kind of forgotten already because it's a big clumsy sentence. So who is starting next week with a new health goal? Okay, so it's about a health goal. If you want to achieve it, so that it is the health goal, but I've kind of already forgotten that health goal was the topic of the sentence. Achieve it for free. So now here's their verb. The word say is the verb that they're using in this. Say, yes, please, below. Can you see the issue with this? I'll go back to the other one. So besides, where it says, here's the verb say, yes, please. This one has it all together with, see all this blank space above it? See like this whole zone here? The verb type followed by I'm in, that's all you need to read. It's simple. And then, lots and lots of leads. So under this video, check out my 77 examples and you can actually see which ones have the most leads. I've left all that information in for you. So, from 0 leads overnight, this student changed it slightly. They didn't completely fix it, but they got their first leads in minutes. Minutes. So if you're trying to get, I just want to get one person as a lead. I just want to get 1 or 2 people as a lead this week. Minutes by doing this. So so for starters, do you remember that formula of how to get good thing if bad thing? So how to get fit, healthy and strong, and then the without. So how to get good thing without bad thing? Without counting calories or cutting carbs. So already it's topical. Then the empty space, and then the verb, type I'm in, to join my group with all new free training. I would join this. So it's not perfect because it's still kind of all in bold, it's not all caps, but it's pretty much has that all caps feel because it's bold. But you can see why it's better than this. This one was a hot mess. This one was attractive. You would have got a lot more leads if it wasn't bold, but it is so good compared to the previous one. So let's go, once you've done your post, and I encourage you to pause this video and do a Facebook post based on, based on just this formula. How to get good thing if bad thing. I'm just going to move that away from me slightly. So how to get good thing if bad thing. So the 5 strategies. So here's what to do. So you've done a post and you go, great, I've done a post. Now how do I get the money? So that's what we're basically talking you through right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number 1, solve a problem early. So when you're doing a post, talk about the problem. That's the big. And then the small is the ebook or video. So the small is the tiny little effort it takes for them to type I'm in to receive a gift from you. Big problem in life, small solution, type I'm in. That's the formula. Number 2, only capitalize some words. See, the reason that you use capitals is to make, again, as I was saying, to make it stand out against the lowercase letters. You want contrast. So that's how people know which words to read. 3, a blank line before the call to action, as I was showing you in the previous slide. Number 4, early verb in the call to action, type this or say this. And then number 5, offer a framework for free. So the ebooks, offer to give away an ebook, offer to give away a video. Now, a lot of you might say hey, I don't have an ebook, I don't have a video. 2 pages of ebook saved as a PDF is fine. I encourage you to pause the video now and put out a lead magnet, one of those posts. And then you can even leave them hanging for a couple of days before you give them a 2-page ebook or a 5-minute video. It's fine, you can do that. You can start low tech, you can start with your budget, you can start for free and just start putting things out there, because what you need to do is you need to plant your flag in the ground. A lot of this is confidence stuff. A lot of this is kind of that your mission, you know that you need to help people, but we get a little bit thrown off by trolls. We get a little thrown off because, and students tell me this all of the time, somebody tried to kind of give them constructive feedback, but instead what happened is that the person, the therapist, stopped marketing themselves for several months because somebody made them feel bad about themselves. I mean, I've been through that. I stopped doing, I was a lecturer at the Academy of Hypnotic Science for about 8 months or so. by age 30, and I was really happy. So at the time, I was like, getting married about that year. I was a lecturer teaching diploma students, and I'm thinking like, from where I was before, like I've done a lot. And like what I found is like one of the other lecturers, like they came in, they meant well, like we're really good friends now, but they came and basically told me that my lecturing style was all wrong. I was doing some of the highest paid seminars in the industry for things like quit smoking. I was the highest paid lecturer there. And then I stopped doing seminars for a whole year because my confidence took a dive. And like when I eventually talked to the person and kind of like went, hey, when you said this to me, I stopped doing seminars for a year. And they're going, what? Why would you? I was trying to encourage you. And I've gone, oh, I thought you meant that I sucked. And he's like, no, I'm so sorry that you stopped doing seminars for a year, but I think that you're amazing. I was just trying to give you some pointers of how you can be even better. Does that make sense? So like the trolls aren't always trolls. Some are trolls. Some are just, some people are just being awful. They like tact or whatever it is. But most people actually just want to encourage you. Most people actually want to see you succeed at this. And sometimes they don't know what words to say to make you feel better, and so they use the wrong ones. So let's go into to zoom into this section, because this is a handy trick. I hope you've seen this before. You will read this first, and then you will read this, and then this one, and you will read this last. It's in the workbook as well. So when putting out a Facebook post, the idea is to capitalize on the knowledge of like, well, where are they going to read first? If there's no empty space above a headline, it's not really a headline. So that's why like these formulas we're asking you to follow just a very, very simple framework of writing how to get good thing if bad thing. You will get 50 free leads easily on Facebook. Like the technology is ridiculous. You could basically say like, okay, leads were hard to get 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, because the technology was very different. But there's no excuse for this stuff now, that if you just do a simple postcard post, you should be getting 50 leads within a week from one post quite easily, if you follow the formula. So here's a post that got 120 comments. Again, it's in the workbook, and there's 77, as I was saying, 77 of these post examples below this video. 4 emotional triggers to cure addicts. And then there's an empty space. Then it says, type I'm in to download our ebook, The 4 Emotional Triggers to Cure Addiction. I did a video on this one and it got 23,000 views, partly because of the headline, but because of all of the shares. It's something that people wanted. So I was solving a problem and I made it very simple. 120 leads. And this post got 102 comments in 2 days. Just in 2 days, 102 comments. How to quit smoking in 60 minutes permanently. Free ebook. Type yes. Remember, early verb. Type yes, and I'll give you a free copy. That's it. 102 comments in 2 days. So, why are you posting? So, pick a problem. 2, offer a framework to fix their problem. Number 3, collect their details. So, when they type I'm in, you're going to use something like lead pages, which I can show you how to do. You're going to use something like lead pages to create an opt-in page. And then give valuable multiple times. So multiple times, this is like where basically you either give an ebook and multiple videos or multiple ebooks and a video, but you're going to give value multiple times. And this basically, it's not that hard, because if you talk to a client or if you talk to a friend or family, you'll find out how much you know. You are an expert. You've studied that. Your clients weren't sitting in class with you. They don't know as much as what you know. And so I know that you can doubt yourself. I know that you think that you're not an expert at this, but if you're a qualified hypnotherapist or NLP or a coach or any of these things, you are qualified. It's just like kind of like that voice in the head, just trying to sort of add doubts where there's no reason for doubts. You just need to basically trust in yourself. You are an expert. You can deliver this information. But if you're worried about running out of content or running out of being able to give people multiple forms of value or multiple short 2-page ebooks. So like if you want to put out 3 ebooks that are 2 pages each, that's just 6 pages. Just going like, well, I don't have 3 ebooks in me, even if they're just 2 pages. Sit down with a piece of paper and just write down 3 topics. Don't even write the ebooks yet, but just write down 3 topics. This will probably take you 1 minute to come up with 3 topics. And then just go and write just one of the ebooks. And then the next week or 2 weeks later, write the second ebook. Another week later, write the third ebook. That's it. That's all you need to do. And then offer a program to fix their problem. Charge at least 5 sessions of $200 per session, so it's at least $1,000 per program. This is something that is a very standard price and a standard expectation. People expect to pay, as long as it's not smoking, which is somewhere between the 400 to 600-700 for the program. For anything else, people tend to expect between $1,000 to $2,000 over time for therapy, for coaching, for hypnotherapy. Just not all in one session sometimes. Like often they're happy just to pay $200 a session over 5 sessions or 8 sessions or 10 sessions. So here's the entire funnel. We've broken it down into the 5 Ps. Post-page proof pitch program. So the $100,000 funnel made cinch, post-page proof pitch program. Let's go through these one at a time. The first one we've covered in massive depth. Here's just an example again, and you've got 77 of them. How to quit smoking in 60 minutes permanently. Free ebook. Empty space, remember. Early verb. Type yes, and I'll give you a free copy. Then, use lead pages to make an opt-in. They're very easy. Like this one we just made ourselves back when we were using coding. This was before all of the tools were so easy, like lead pages. You can get a 14-day free trial, and you can just click the top left button until you run out of top left buttons to click, and you'll end up with a template that is basically finished. You just write your text. You just basically then you tell it your headline, and you put in a picture of your ebook. That's all you need to do. Next is give an ebook. So 2 pages. If you want to write 100 pages, go for it. But I recommend if you're starting, don't write 100 pages. Write 2 pages. So this one was called How to Quit Smoking in Under an Hour. And then finally, the offer, the pitch. So this one basically says, what's your excuse? It says the program is the 2 sessions of hypnotherapy plus a 2-disc CD set. If you're doing anxiety, it might be it's the 6 or 5, 6, 7, 8. You just pick one number. You don't say it's 5, 6, or 7, 8. You just pick a number. So let's say 5 sessions of hypnotherapy and a 2-disc CD set, $200 per session. And then you use lead pages again, where it has a little opt-in thing for you, where it collects their name, email, and phone number and sends you a notification to say that, hey, you've got a new customer. And then finally, you give them your program. So if you want extra help with this, and I'm sure that you do, we've got one more round of this coming up. And so with the 5 spots that are available, 2 are taken. There's only 3 left. They're going to go very quickly. But if you click the button under this video, or in the ebook, if you're reading this in the ebook, if you click the button, you can join this program where we're going to walk you through an entire funnel. So within 3 weeks, you'll have the whole lot done. On week 1, basically what happens is we write all of your scripts for your marketing. So like when you add valuable multiple times, we're going to work that out with you, because there's some elements that you need our skill sets to be able to help you to do that, to make sure that your message is done. The next week, you record them. So whether it's screen record or whether it's face to camera, you don't have to do like a weird presentation like this, like using an avatar and a virtual reality helmet. The 3rd week, we then start building up your traffic so that you can actually just start seeing clients. So hit the button, join the program, and take one of the last 3 spots, because once this is done, you can just keep seeing clients. We'll see you on the other side.